Hello, and welcome to Yoga with Yo Gabriella. My goal is to enhance the quality of your experiences and your energy so that you can embody your essence, to understand the language of your body, and to realign the posture of your heart so you can fully indulge with the richness of life. So, whether you're new or you're coming back, I'm so blessed to have you part of this tribe, to share this experience with you, and I'm truly honored that you're here. So, whenever you're ready, grab your mat and let's get started. Hello and welcome. We're going to start by sitting in a cross-legged seated position. Gently close the eyes. The palms can face up or they can face down. Just take a moment to get into your body. Take a few deep breaths, whatever type of breaths that you need. Maybe you sigh it out. Maybe it's an audible exhale. Just take a moment to connect with this present moment, the sensual texture in your body. Take a few more deep breaths. Maybe you set an intention. Grace. My intention is just to move with grace, so you can take that if you would like. If not, choose your own. Take one more deep breath in to anchor in the intention. And then slowly you can open your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or you can keep them closed. We're going to start by placing our palms on our knees, and we're just going to do a few seated cat-cow. So start to roll the spine backwards, tuck in the pelvis. You'll feel the hips open up, tuck the chin. And then inhale, pull yourself through your arms, reaching your chest towards the space in front of you. Your gaze is up. And slowly exhale, round in the back, and see if you can find the center of gravity in your body between the ribs, and fully using the lungs to expand yourselves. Feel the ripples of the movement from your spine to the extremities. Move slow. Take one more round wherever you're at. And meet me back to a centered, neutralized spine. Our hands are going to slowly lift up overhead. Reach behind, grabbing the opposite hands. So palms are on the base of the head. And you're just slowly going to rock from side to side as we start to open up the shoulders, open up the spine to move in different directions. And then slowly we're going to start to lean all the way as much as you can towards the left, keeping the right elbow pressing behind you, expanding yourself kind of like a book. And then slowly the right elbow comes towards the left knee. Slowly press into that right elbow, expanding that chest nice and open, starting to get some rotation in the spine. Exhale. Go ahead, do one more. Following your breath, softening the body, and then slowly drag your elbows towards the center of your shins. Hold here for a moment, and slowly walk yourself over towards the right. The right elbow is relatively towards your chest, the center of your right thigh. And then slowly press that left elbow open up to expand. Keeping that left knee down. Notice if it comes up, slowly just relax it down, or maybe you've gone too far. You just need to lift up a little bit. Slowly bring that left elbow towards the right knee. See if you can feel the connection with your lower abdominal and your hip flexor as you rotate through this movement. This will help engage the pelvic floor muscles, making sure that we're moving with integrity, utilizing all the supportive muscles and tendons within the body. Go ahead, take one more. Slowly lift your way back up towards center. Hands will come all the way up overhead. And then slowly twist yourself open towards the right. Left, right hand comes on the left knee. Left hand comes behind you. Your gaze is over your left shoulder. You're high up on your left fingertips so that we're not leaning on our left arm. It's nice and light and active. We're getting a full rotation of the spine. And then slowly your gaze is over your right shoulder. Keeping your right hand on your left knee, the left hand is going to come all the way up across the body and reach over for your right knee. Do a few cat-cows, tucking the chin, rolling the pelvis backwards, rounding the back, and inhale to lean forward. I'm going to do this about 3 times. Notice the effect in your neck, the jaw, and see if you can relax the tongue. Inhale, release the hands, bringing them all the way back up towards the center, towards the top, reaching up. And then exhale, twist yourself open towards the right. Left hand comes on right knee. Right hand is high on the fingertips. Gaze is over your left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. See if you can relax the belly. Relax any strain that you feel. And then keeping your left hand on your right knee, the right hand comes up and over onto the left. And really tucking the chin, rounding the back. And inhale, lifting your way up. Take a few cat-cow rounds if you would like. Really being gentle with the spine. Feeling the stretch between the shoulder blades. And then neutralize your position. Release the cross of the hands. Then we're going to roll onto our hands and knees, coming into a tabletop position. So at first we're starting to warm up the hips. So we're just going to rock our hips from one side to another, kind of like a rainbow. See if you can bring your belly button up towards your heart space, and this will kind of engage the pelvic floor and release any extra tension or pressure that we put onto our joints. Your hips do not have to touch. They can if it feels good for you. Just find the little bit of sway and momentum. And if you feel a juicy spot, you can hold it and breathe through it. You'll notice that the sensations on one side is very different from the other. Come back up towards center. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the right knee towards the center of the mat. The left knee is going to cross behind it. And then we're just going to gently sway our hips forward and back until our hips eventually invite us to sit back further. When they do, you can open up the space in between your feet. So the left foot is right by the edge of the right mat, and the right foot is by the edge of the left mat. And then slowly sit your hips in between, coming into a cow face pose. So this is really deep with the hips. See if you can get both hips on the ground. If this is too much or strain, you can always place the right foot flat on the ground. Your right knee comes up towards the ceiling, and you can wrap your left hand around your right knee, kind of drawing it in towards the chest. So in this pose, I just want to ask to reflect, because sometimes we know where we want to get to, but we don't understand the route of how to get there. So when you think of grace, what does grace look like to you? What do you have to do or let go of or step into to receive grace? How do you know that you are operating at a graceful state? Take one more deep breath in and sigh it out. Take one more breath in. Have an audible exhale out. Let it all go. Slowly you can come back onto your knees, releasing the cross. Allow the blood flow to go back towards the hips. Make any movement that feels good for you. And then you can meet me back at a tabletop position. This time, the left knee comes in towards the center. Right knee stacks behind. Open up the feet nice and wide and just sway your hips forward and back. If you want to flip your palms or flip your fingers towards your knees, now you're also incorporating some joint mobility in the wrist. So it's cool to multitask. We're doing multiple things at once. And then slowly, when your hips invites you, you can slowly come in between the space of your feet. Again, your left knee can come up towards the center and your left foot come flat on the ground. The goal is to get both sit bones relatively rooted on the mat. So see where your body is at. It's not about what the pose looks like, but it's about what the pose feels like. So now that you know what grace can look like, what does it feel like? If you were to close your eyes, and maybe if you don't know what it feels like, maybe go through your support system or models, role models. Who is somebody that emanates this grace, that has that quality of grace? How do you know they carry that grace? And then see if you can invite that same sensation, state of mind, into your body. That's right. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale out. Slowly, you can roll onto your hands and knees. Undo your cross of the legs. We're going to come into one final pose. If you want to come on the long way of your mat, you can do that, we're going to come into frog pose. So we're going to start to open up the knees as wide as you can. The ankles will be in line with the knees, so it's at a 90-degree angle, and your feet are going to be pointing out. It's so important to have this alignment for the energetic flow. And then you can stay here. Elongate from the crown. If this feels good and your body invites you to go in deeper, you can come onto your elbows. Maybe you do want to sway back and forth a little bit. See what your body is craving. Maybe it's a completely different pose, and that's okay too. See if you can find surrender in this pose. Find your breath. Take 2 more deep, full belly breaths in here. And then whenever you're ready, first come up high onto your hands. We're going to tuck the toes, and then inch by inch, slowly being gentle with the hips, we can bring them back up to a tabletop position. And then slowly we can come all the way onto our backs. Taking a moment to bring your knees in towards your chest. You can rock from side to side if that feels good for you. Just take a moment to massage the body, and slowly you can bloom yourself open to Shavasana, corpse pose. You can tuck the shoulders underneath, rolling them down and back. Relax the jaw, the eyes. Take a moment of silence to invite that presence of grace. And how can you carry and emanate this grace on a consistent basis? Take one more deep breath in and sigh it out. Slowly you can start to bring movement back into the body. Maybe you take a deep stretch with your hands up overhead. And slowly bring your knees in or up, roll onto either side, and make your way up to a cross-legged seated position. Take a moment to integrate and reflect on the expansiveness of your mind, your body, in this moment. Your hands can come to prayer pose in front of your heart, honoring yourself, honoring the grace, knowing that grace is so easily tangible just by giving yourself a moment to step into it. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for practicing. Malama Pono. I'm truly so grateful to have shared this experience with you. If you are looking to continue feeling expansive, experiencing salvation with a rich quality of life, then please support by subscribing